a diva. I'm a diva.
Na diva is a female version of a hustler.
Natalie.
Yes, I'm Natalie. My business is fashionhistoryofevents.com. A friend of mine who works in recruitment recently told me that I'm actually unemployable now. I've had my own business for 7 years and I just could not turn up to work for someone else anymore. It just is not a possibility.
Never say never.
So basically I knew I was going to have my first business when I was 5. Like I knew I was going to own my own business, and so...
Did your parents own their own business?
Yes.
Yes, so you'd seen it.
Yeah, I'd seen it, and what I found really interesting about the way my parents saw how I was interacting with my siblings. I've got 3 sisters and a brother, and Mum would bring home the groceries and I would resell the groceries to my brothers and sisters, and my parents thought that was fine. I thought, I was selling the billabongs to my sisters for 20 cents, and so I was making money from my family since I was 5. So I kind of have always known that I was going to have my own business. Doing what... Very quiet.
Oh, sorry. Speak up, Nat.
How about if I perch here?
Yeah, perch.
I promise not to take my bra off. So I just kind of always knew that I was going to have my own business. And I was saying to Lisa earlier tonight, the point in time that I decided to start my own business was through my ex-boyfriend's father died, and I went to his funeral in Vancouver, and I was flying home, and it's a very long flight home, so I had a long time to ponder the meaning of life and what life meant to me, and it didn't mean working for someone else and making someone else money. What it meant to me was being able to wake up and do something that I loved and following my passion. And all I really knew then was that I loved clothes and I loved fashion, and it had been a long struggle for me because it didn't really feel worthwhile. It didn't feel like a worthwhile pursuit to put all my energy into. So I thought, maybe I should become a lawyer, or maybe I should work in IT, which I did. I was living in Vancouver and I worked in IT before the dot-com bubble burst, and luckily enough I worked for a software company, and so I got to learn all the acronyms for things in IT, like the CRM and the FTP. So before I got my own business in technology, I actually had the background in both marketing and a little bit of very high level stuff that had to do with the internet, which was kind of emerging at the time. So I wasn't afraid of it. I think that's the biggest thing, is that I was not afraid of the internet, whereas so many people who I deal with on a daily basis are afraid of what this big interweb thing is. And I kind of always joke and I call it the interweb because, some of the people who I speak to have never advertised on the internet, and a lot of things they do is still just Google searching, as opposed to my little brother who's Gen Y, and the only time I ever speak to him is on Messenger. So, people who think texting is, the next big thing, and Messenger, no, it's all about Skype and Messenger. So I think, the thing for me was 2 things: that I knew I wanted to work in fashion, and I knew I wanted to work in for myself, and everything else kind of just evolved for me.
Would you say it's been, it's 7 years, it's a long time, you're well and truly up and running. Has it been a long, hard road?
No, it's been fun.
Yeah.
And I think the thing for me is I've never been afraid of making money either. So for me, if I know that I've got to pay my rent at the end of the week and I've got no money, I'll just go out and do something to make some money. And it just so happens that now, luckily, 36,500 people in Brisbane get my newsletters every week. So I have to think to myself, what am I going to do to make money this week?
That is amazing. That is huge. Especially in a concentrated, region like Brisbane.
It can also be bad. Like if I'm out having a big night and I've fallen over and someone comes to help me out and they're like, oh my god, you're the fashionista